There's not much happening at the feeder this morning. There's a couple little bucks out there. One is back behind the feeder. You can see a foot right there behind that feeder, but we can't really see the deer. As we start this week's antlers videos out, deer videos, we've got a busy week ahead of us, so it's going to be difficult to get very much video. These are two wild deer that are out there. Oh, that one probably heard me talking. As he heard me, he took off. There was a couple of wild deer out there earlier this morning, but we have had electricity problems. OG&E has been sending updates, but and they expected to have the electricity back on around 10:45, and that's happened. And it's about what it is right now. The electricity just came back on. You can see that deer spooked. Deer, when they spook, their first inclination is simply to run. These are a couple of young bucks right there, and you can see that other one right there. These are a couple of young bucks that are wild deer. I believe both of them are wild deer. That is not Buddy. That is a wild deer. And it's a beautiful, beautiful 8-point. But those are two beautiful bucks, and they come in a little bit later. We had lots of deer out there this morning, and Apache, of course, when Apache gets here, they hear his mule. There's another deer coming in from the right. They hear his mule coming down the road. It's a couple miles up to his house here on the ranch, about 2.5 miles. And they hear his mule coming down the road, and when they do, they start working toward this feeder. And so when he gets here, there can be no deer at all out there, but when Apache gets here in the morning, that deer, I don't know where that deer went, just took off and run right through there. But when they get here in the morning, by the time he gets there, there's another deer running way off out there. When they get here in the morning, a couple of deer wandering off. Several, as a matter of fact. They're running all through the woods. But when he gets here, there are deer coming from everywhere. He's like the Pied Piper, and they hear that mule coming down the road, and that's a deer call for them. And but then after they get through eating, and of course the feeder goes off at 9 o'clock, so we have activity then. But when he's here, he takes the lid off and throws a few scoops out on the ground and feeds them extra. And of course, his boy Forrest is always sitting there waiting on him to eat some out of the scoop, and then he pours him a pile on the ground. There's another little buck walking back through there. There are a lot of deer around this morning. They're just simply not been around the feeder, except when Apache was here, and us without electricity. We were concerned and taking care of all that because we have no electricity, we have no water. And we have no water. That's not good. So, but anyway, it's a great start to another week because the electricity's back on. And God's blessed us with power. God blessed us with the Generac. And the Generac, with our old electric company that installed it, which we had lots and lots of problems with that company, and it did not work properly when we had the ice storm. We had other people come out and look at it, and they told us and fix what was wrong. And it's been working fine ever since, and we are not paying the monthly fee like we were, and not getting bad service like we were from the other old electric people that we were working with. There are lots and lots of heat and air people out there. Getting the right one is really, really important. And when we got electricity into this ranch 21 years ago, we picked an electric company, and it was a local company, privately owned by one individual, and they had great service. We had a monthly deal with them, and they would take care of us and do a spring deal and a fall deal. But then through the years, they sold to a company out of state, and the service went to pot, and all they just tried to do when they came and do service was not do service. They lost most of their technicians that they'd had for very long, and the technicians they had were usually all of them within 6 months or 2 months to a year out of school, and then they would leave that company because I guess it's just not being run by the same people, and it's got out-of-state ownership that really don't care about us here in Oklahoma. I think the ownership's in Ohio or somewhere, and they just don't care. And my recommendation on heat and air, and there's a lot of them around, lots of them, get somebody that's local. Get somebody where that ownership, that'd be the first question I'd ask a heat and air company. Who owns this company? Are you locally owned? And that's the ones that'll take care of you. And the guys taking care of us now, all we need to do is call. They come right over, they take care of us. They're skilled technicians, been around for a long, long time. And they got my Generac installed correctly. It was bad installation is what it was in the first place. But the guy that came by was a certified Generac guy that he been training. He said that the company I was using really had no one in that company that was trained to install a Generac. But they acted like they did. They sold them and acted like they did, but they had it installed incorrectly. Didn't know that until we had a big ice storm, and then we had no power for about a day and a half. But anyway, we had the Generac run perfectly this morning, so wasn't Generac's fault. They'd done a great job. And the deer just keep moseying around while I'm shooting the bull. Have a great week this week, guys. We'll see what we can get. We may not get much, but we'll get what we can. That's a beautiful sight right there. Mr. Forrest down there getting some water. I don't know what excited him there, but it's so beautiful out there. And he was down at the lake getting water. I didn't get my camera rolling quite as quickly as I probably should have. But is he gorgeous down there or what? That water back in there behind him. Spraying with the sprinkler system going. We take the water out of the lake. I actually fertilize the yard at the same time in doing that because we put fertilizer in the lake and keep the lake fertilized. And when we water out of the lake, that causes to fertilize the grass too in the yard. But that's beautiful. I don't know what kind of excited him there. He kind of got running a little bit. I don't know if I kind of spooked him just a second. I doubt it. He doesn't really worry too much about me. He hears my voice and he's pretty satisfied in that. He doesn't really worry much about my voice at all, that's for sure. But it's beautiful when they're down there drinking water. I just love to see them down there when they're watering at the lake, and they appreciate having that lake probably as much as I do because it gives them a great place to go drink water early in the morning, late in the evening. That's which is about all they drink. This time of the year, the bucks are moving a lot more, and so they actually consume a lot more water, and they'll get where something spooked him. He kind of acted like maybe a fly or something bit him on the butt, didn't it? But he's kind of spooky right now for some reason this evening. That's the second time he's done that, and just all of a sudden jumped up and ran. And it might be a big old horsefly might be landing on his hind end there and biting him. But usually they'll turn around and smack him when they do that. But he's enjoying a beautiful evening here on the ranch, and we missed him drinking at the lake, but he sure is pretty. Forrest! Hey, Forrest! Says, I know it's you, Jimmy. I don't care what kind of noises you make. Look at this. When I got home, these guys were all out in the front yard. Big, giant bull elk and his harem, all of his girls. And they got spooky and run out of the front yard and run back here around where the truck was. There was 5 of them at the feeder. I don't know how many girls he's got there. He's got quite a few girls and calves. Several calves in there, which are probably his. But that's really special right there. They were out in the front yard, which would have been pretty. There's a deer going off back through there. Is that him going through there? I don't know. He's right there in the middle. I think that's him right there. I'm not sure. He's there somewhere. There's another deer back off through there. Those elk scare the deer away from the feeder, obviously. Big matters, and there was no way those white-tailed deer can compete with the size of those elk, cows or bulls. It doesn't make any difference. I don't know where he is right there, but he's right in there somewhere. I thought he stopped out there, but maybe he went on. They're kind of scattered all around out there. A big bunch of them. That was pretty cool. Yes, it was. A gorgeous evening. Bucks in the yard. Oh, a doe and a buck with her. A little buck. I think that's Buddy. And she must not be really in yet, because there'd be somebody there besides Buddy. She's a pure wild deer. She's scared right now. She doesn't know what to do. I don't know, though. Buddy's going to chase her. That's Buddy. And then right down there, big, giant, wide buck. TC. TC. And looking around, let's see what else we can see. Look at that lake. Look at that lake. Is that Gordon? Gorgeous? Is that gorgeous? And look right there. Uh-oh, what do we have here? Who's that? It's another doe. I think the rut has begun. That's a wild doe. Uh-oh, Buddy's going to chase her. Buddy? She must not be really too hot, because TC's not paying any. He might be getting too old to be interested. I don't know. He's getting pretty old. Oh, there's another doe running through the water, through the sprinkler. And I know a buck that definitely is interested in the girls. He's not paying any attention to her at all. I keep trying to get a look at him, but he may be another doe. There's my boy. There is my boy. TC. I mean Forrest, not TC. Forrest was. We looked at TC. Oh, he took his nose up in the air. Oh, any takers around here? Stick that nose up in the air. He's looking at the girls. Those girls might have just come in. I didn't see them anywhere. They're all down there. It's got pretty warm today. It's supposed to be 87 degrees here Monday. Here to the end of October. 87 degrees. Jamie's supposed to come down. We're going to go fishing. We're going to go somewhere. We're not going to fish here at the ranch, but we're going to go somewhere in the area and try to catch enough fish to do a television show. Look at Forrest, though. That water behind him, is he gorgeous? Make any kind of picture you want. Back out a little bit. That's a beautiful picture. Zoom in. It's a beautiful picture. He's smelling those does, but he's not very interested, is he? And it's probably, the girls are probably not quite ready. If the girls aren't ready, Forrest is not ready. Probably ready for some carrots, you reckon? If the rut's getting close, it's gonna be fun to watch. I'm gonna be gone a lot because we got to shoot a lot of television shows over the Sustainable Green Team tracker. Got to get busy this fall and winter. But we'll do some deer watching as well. Can you see him? Can you see him? My goodness, I had to stop. It's about dark and it's kind of out of focus because it's so late. I had to stop to let him walk across the road in front of me. Is he gorgeous or is he gorgeous? Maybe if I back out a little bit, it'll be a little clearer. Yeah, he's not, doesn't look quite as massive. Got girls everywhere. You zoom in on him because it's close to dark. These iPhones are pretty amazing. And by the way, they don't give them to me. I paid $1,500 or something for this sucker like everybody else. And you got to pay 2 or 3 years, or 4 years or whatever before they get you another one, then they get another $1,500 from you. It's crazy, but golly, they sure do take good pictures. Look at that guy. And there's girls everywhere. The whole woods is full of girls. Everywhere he's walking, there's girls. Look at him. My gosh, he's not really paying a whole lot of attention to me. Now, if I was to get out and get between him and some of those girls, it might be a different ball game. I'm not going to do that. He doesn't have to worry about that. Just absolutely gorgeous. I can hold the camera or hold the phone steady, which I can't. Just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful deer. Beautiful. An elk deer, as the kids call him, and a big one at that. And he's got his girls, and he's making babies. That's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. That big guy and his ladies have decided that Jimmy and Chris's house is a great place to hang out. And so he's got him about 12 or 15 girlfriends. And this is where they're hanging, is all around the house right here. And they probably heard me talking, spooked a little bit there. I'm in the house, but by the window. Looks like they're going on. Let me change windows real quickly. This bedroom's got a really nice view of all of the elk. And you can see that they're moving on. Definitely moving on. They're probably going to just come around to the front yard and feed. I'm not sure. We'll see what they're doing. It looks like they're just going to go down to the water and get them something to drink down there. I think that's exactly what they're doing. They're all going to disappear behind all those trees there. That was a quick look, but that's a big one. They're around here quite a bit. We getting quite a few pictures of those, quite a bit of video of them, so makes the week a little bit more enjoyable to see that big boy and his girls.